Hello everybody, I am High Priest Star Soul of the Sacred Circle Coven along with the Ericonian Wiccan tradition. Tonight's sermon I would like to talk about unity. It's far too much we see in our communities, be them druids, Wiccans, shamans, various groups of pagans. We're having a very hard issue with simple unity. We're entering a period of time where unity is becoming essential. And from unity, that just simply means we find things that we can all agree upon. We may not agree upon everything, but find the things that truly matter in each branch of paganism. For one, I think we can all agree to harm none. I think we all agree that nature is very essential and vital. But the problem we're having is, it's all the other things that we're disagreeing on, when we should be finding the things that we agree upon most. It shouldn't matter what tradition, what branch of paganism, other religions for that matter. Take Christianity, take Jews, take Muslims. Most of them all have common spiritual truths of just simply being a good person. And unfortunately, a lot of people are losing that. What I'd like to talk about today is really focusing on the unity of our people. Be them pagan, be them Christian, be them whatever. Human nature. We all need that. We all need unity. Without unity, we start to lose ourselves. We have less protection. We have less friends, less people to lean a shoulder to for someone to cry on. There's so many aspects to this world that we are all lacking. And unity could help a lot of that. The second part of tonight's sermon is something even more simpler. Loving one another. Now this is a hard one. I'm talking about when you meet somebody. Don't be so fast to judge everything about them. Judge them by their actions. Judge them by their words, but also incorporate watching what they do. Because you will learn so much more about a person just by watching how they live their lives. We've got to start working on loving each other. We've got to start working on helping each other. That's part of what being a community means. Without a community, we truly have nothing. Communities keep us from being subdued by those who would subdue us, along with loving ourselves, loving our fellow man. Despite how badly we've been treated, try to hold to those embers of love in your heart. Look for the good in people, instead of always looking for the crap to hit the fan. For those that have studied the laws of attraction, we all know this all too well. If you constantly look for all the bad things to happen, it will. Because you can't see the good that's happening too. Not to mention, you are attracting energies that will obey. That's cosmic law, the law of attraction. You gotta stop looking for the other shoe to drop. Giving the benefit of the doubt. Even if it's somebody that you know may have a darker side, darker intentions. You still have to show them love. Sure, you can say no to their requests, but don't forget to love them. Love them for who they are. Love them for their flaws. Love them for the things that you do truly love about them. Because that's what being human is. We love people for everything about them. Not just the things we like, but their flaws as well. Because when we show love, we show the world a complete different side of paganism. We have so many stereotypes, so many that cause many of us many problems. And most of those problems could simply be avoided if we were all living by our actions, showing what we learn from Buckland, from Conway, from Cunningham. It was all about harm. It was all about doing good. learning all these different aspects of witchcraft. It's all about being a good person. If you're not living that in your life, how do you expect people to change their stereotypes of who we are? That's the thing. It builds unity. It builds love. It builds trust. You're not going to get a Christian to think anything else about our religion if you don't show them how loving you are. And you can't do it just to do it. You have to do it every day. Every day, setting those very powerful examples. Feed a homeless person. Volunteer at a homeless shelter. Help out. Give back to your communities, and not just because you think you have to. You gotta do it because you want to. You gotta do it because it's the right thing, and you have to feel that right thing. There's so many things that we can do to change this world if we work on unity and we work on love. Loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves of everything that holds us back, taking responsibility for our choices, loving people. Start by trying to love the person that's hurt you the most. And that's a hard one. That's a really hard one. But from love comes forgiveness. And from forgiveness comes trust. And then from that, we work on unity. We have got to, ladies and gentlemen, work on unity. I don't care if you're a pagan, a Christian, a Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish, whatever. It is time that we have stepped into a place in this world where we are more worried about mankind as a whole. And the only way that's going to happen is if we're working together. Find our differences. Build your councils. Come up with groups, pagan tolerance, whatever. If you don't start, who will? Who's going to have the strength to carry on? Who's going to have the strength to lead? It's time for us to start stepping up, putting aside our differences. Because if we don't, somebody will take advantage of that. The Burning Times, the Great Purge, it has 100,000 different names. I've heard it called by over all the years of study. I'm 34 years old, and hearing my grandpa talk about it, hearing his sisters talk about it, they all had different names. Reading about it in Buckland's works, Cunningham's works, Conway's works, online. Everybody has a different name for it. But you know what happened? There were so many branches of paganism. If they would have unified back then, there may not have been a purge. And here's the cold truth about it. If we do not start working on unity, loving one another, and showing this world who we truly are as pagans, as Wiccans, as human beings, we're going to face another form of witch hunt. Next time it's probably going to be political. We all know, we all see the news, we all see all these things going on, and we always think, oh, how horrible this is. How horrible is that? But you're not doing anything about it. All you're doing is talking about it. It's time to stop talking. It's time to come out of the shadows. It's time to realize we have got to stand up. If anything, unify. Create councils. Create organizations. Start worrying about protecting our people. Be them straight, be them gay, transgendered, questioning, bisexual, whatever. They are all parts of paganism. Paganism has always openly embraced people, regardless of their sexual preferences, their genders. We're all equal. We are all equal in the goddess's eyes. Always have been, always will be. That will never change. What has changed is we're losing sight of our unity. We don't go to open circles. Too many people prefer to be solitary, and I truly respect the solitary. But when you have a chance to go to something, be that a pagan pride, an open circle, some type of event, you've got to support unity of our communities. Because when we don't, we all lose. Evil left unchecked, it hurts everybody. Not just me, not just you, not just other people that worship paganism in all of its various forms. It hurts everybody. And what hurts is none of us are standing up enough to do anything about it. It starts by working together, agreeing to disagree, agreeing on the things that we do agree about, and spreading love. Love is the one thing that we can ever do to change the face of what Christianity and other religions view us as. And it's not going to be what we say, it's going to be what we do. How many of you are out there volunteering for a homeless shelter? How many of you out there are volunteering to help at animal shelters? How many of you are doing things to benefit another human being other than yourself? And it's being done selflessly. We have to prove who we are by selfless actions. Only through our actions can we change the face of how we are interpreted by others. Only by our actions will they know how serious we are about our dedication to the crafts that we practice. I personally am of the Ericonian tradition. It's a tradition that believes that there's a God, there's a goddess, and that every religion on the face of this earth has been worshiping the same two creators since the dawn of time. It's just every geographic location had a different name for them. Hence the saying, by all names known and unknown. One thing I've ever gotten from meditation and prayer is that truth. That's a truth for me. That's a truth from my coven that I lead. That's a truth for all the groups that I've helped teach. They all pray on it. It's up to them. I don't lead sheep. Sheep will follow a religious leader over a hill. We have to learn for ourselves. That's why we don't recruit. That's why we tell people, study. That's what that year and a day is for. So people can make up their own minds to come to paganism, Wicca, whatever, by their own accord. But once they come over, how are we embracing them? Are we embracing them with love? Are we giving them the benefit of the doubt? Are we giving them a chance? Or are we being judgmental? And I know several good Christians, and I'm going to use a Christian reference. When you judge somebody, especially when it is unjustly, that's harm. You are harming that individual, and you are harming any chance to either help that person or have a relationship with that person in some way. We got to have love. We got to open our eyes. And there's a lot of talk about this new council, the American Witches Council. I see all these nasty comments, and a lot of it is because people are jumping to conclusions. They say, oh, the American Witches Council, oh, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. You don't know. You haven't read their website. Read the website. It's up. Learn before you speak. Because when you speak before you learn, that's how rumors start. That's how organizations get tore down, because somebody has an idea rather than a fact. Learn before you speak. Love. Forgive. Build communities. All that comes from unity. Unity is what will keep paganism thriving and alive. But without it, we will always be divided. It has been our Achilles heel from the beginning. Christians knew that. That's how the burning times took place. There were so many different groups of pagans that they couldn't all agree. So they became essentially minority groups. Easy to wipe out. But when we as a community start to form, take every branch of paganism there is, and find the things that we all agree on and work together, that's when real change happens. When we show the world who we are, not by our words, but by our actions. I encourage every one of you to take this sermon to heart tonight. Because if you don't start working together, start working on loving one another, then you potentially could be leading to the downfall of paganism as we know it. Doesn't matter what branch. Doesn't matter what you believe in. The one core belief that most of us have is loving and not harming. And I challenge each of you to stand up. Work on loving other people. Work on helping other people. Be those examples. Be those guiding lights. Because if you are not a burning light, how can those seeking light find you? This is High Priest and Witch King Starsoul of the Sacred Circle Covens and the Ericonian tradition. Blessed be.